Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. Wild card round is finished. Texans, Chargers. We're going to get into that one. Do y'all remember I said the Texans will not get out of the first round? I remember I said that. But I didn't know they was playing the Chargers the first round. When that came to my attention, that they were playing the Chargers, everything changed. Now, if it was Baltimore first round, Buffalo Bills, I would have said the Steelers, but the way the Steelers looked against Baltimore, I would have never thought the Pittsburgh Steelers would put out a performance like that. Now, I knew they could lose, but not looking like the Steelers, I didn't expect that. Now, nobody has faith in Russell Wilson. We knew that he couldn't possibly win that game. This Baltimore all the way. They looking to go to the Super Bowl. And they damn sure got a good shot at winning the Super Bowl. So the Texans got the Chargers. And when that came to my knowledge that they were playing the Chargers in the wild card, I said, that is the perfect matchup for the Houston Texans to go ahead and get this win. Yeah, I did. Now, the Chargers are a good team. Good quarterback, trying to be great. He's not there yet. Defense, okay. I would say, I'm not going to say they top notch, but in that game, it was okay. It was okay. But I knew the Houston Texans could get out of the first round against the Chargers. This was the best matchup they could ask for. And they went out there and they got it done. Now, is it all claps? Is it all cheers? There's a lot of fools out there going overboard about this win these Texans got against the Chargers. They're talking about things like the Texans are back. We're ready. They found it. No, the Texans ain't find nothing. They beat a team that they supposed to beat, really, if you look at it. Even through the ups and downs all season, this was a team that, yeah, it could have been, back and forth here and there, but eventually the Texans should have won this game, and they got the win. But the Texans won this game not even being sharp. They didn't play well all the way through. Defense, a different story. Defense obviously won this game. But they came slow out of the gate. And I was concerned. Because if you mess around long enough, you could lose a game like this. They patty caked back and forth for a little bit until the defense blew this thing open, basically. The defense blew it open. And they was able to get 30-plus points against the Chargers and seal the deal. Look, I'm not going to go all bad for the Texans. I'm glad. I'm proud that they were able to get out of the wild card round and beat the Chargers. Let's be honest. If they would have lost to the Chargers in that wild card round, would you call that a successful season?
Nope.
Even being depleted? You couldn't call that a successful season. I'm sorry. Any circumstance leaving the first round, if you're the Houston Texans, that is not a successful season. I'm sorry, it's not. So the pressure was on. They had to get it done. And they got it done. Now I'm going to say one little bright spot about that game, about the Texans. I want to give y'all a little sunshine with all this, dirty clouds that's been going around past few weeks. The Texans didn't play their best, right? Nico Collins got loose on a couple of catches. Offense was, in my opinion, a little pedestrian. They did just enough. Just enough. But this championship defense is what pulled them through. And thank God for them all season long. All season long. Patty caking this offense along the way. So, kudos. Good game, not a great game. But you sealed the deal and you got the job done against the Chargers. Like I say, when I saw the matchup, I knew it could be a win. It was a perfect matchup for a first round for the Houston Texans, and they took care of their business. But what do you have now? The ultimate prize. People are going crazy. Kansas City Chiefs. I've talked about them all year long. This is a matchup you really didn't want. But the Texans going to lace it up. They're going to go out there and give it the best they have. And they're going to go into it believing they're going to win that game. I want them to win that game more than anybody. I will tell you. I want the Chiefs to go down, and I want them to go down by the Houston Texans. But I have to be realistic about this thing. I have to be realistic. Look, Texans at full strength. I knew that they could challenge these Chiefs this year. Full strength. To beat a Kansas City Chiefs team, you have to have Stephon Diggs. You have to have Tank Dell. You have to at least have Petrie out there on defense, as well as this defense has played. Short-handed, call it what you want. But they still don't have Petrie out there. To beat the best, you got to have the best available. You still short-handed. So I come to the conclusion of, and it didn't take long, it's house money now for the Texans. Losing against the Kansas City Chiefs don't mean you didn't have a successful year. My opinion, they going against the roadblock right now. They're not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We can hope. We can believe. But what we've seen all year, come on, let's be honest. Be honest. They will be lucky if they just stay in the game, let alone win the game. So dot all your I's, cross all your T's. This championship defense can keep you in it. And by God, if they're able to win it, turn Kansas City Chiefs over, praying to God that they're a little rusty with a little rest they didn't have. A few years ago, you remember? Texans, Chiefs. Texans came out of the gate, putting it to the Chiefs. Chiefs had some misfortunes. They had some drop balls. They started off sluggish, some 3 and outs. Everything Houston did, they were smacking them in the face. Kansas City throwing balls to receivers. They're catching them. They're coming out of their arms, falling right into the Texas defenders, going back for a pick six. That game a few years ago, man, everything was falling in place. Everybody's hooping and hollering. But you know what happened? What Houston always does? Get complacent. They start cheering, getting excited. Thought the game was over early, knowing darn well you're playing one of the best offenses in the league. Or you think they're going to stay down for long? Houston didn't take advantage of the opportunity that they had going up. And you can blame the coach a little bit. Being up and then want to gamble on a 4th down play on your side of the 30-yard line. Would they do a fake punt? If I can recall, got to go back. Changed the whole momentum of the game. Kansas City Chiefs got their feet underneath them. The rest was history. A game that Houston was on top of. Had an absolute chance to win that game. Let go of the rope. Kansas City Chiefs rallied, put them away. I hope they learn a big lesson from this. That one hurt. That one hurt. I'm not going to say that the Texans have to play perfect to win this game because that's adding too much pressure. Just go out there and play and have fun. That's all you can do. Go out there and play and have fun, but play with your hair on fire. Look to get turnovers, which you've been doing. Defense just have to show up like they've been doing. Offense got to find a way to move the chains. You can't have a lot of 3 and outs. Kansas City Chiefs go up 14-0 on you or go up by 2 scores. Majority of the time, that's game time. You have to come out of the gate smoking. A lead would be great against a team like this. It would be great. But don't come in half-stepping. Because if you ain't at least sharp, doing what you're supposed to do, being disciplined, offensive line going to have to be more intact than they ever could all season in this game. Because that Kansas City Chiefs defense, defensive coordinator, oh yeah, he's crafty. He takes chances. He knows how to disguise. And if you don't think the pressure's going to be on C.J. Stroud, see, against the Chargers, I've seen some weak points. CJ made some plays. I'm not going to knock CJ. I love CJ Stroud. He still has some learning and some growth to do, obviously. Okay? Still a young guy. He's our future. He's our Hall of Fame quarterback. But he still gets surprised. His confidence has wavered a little bit throughout these few weeks, if you noticed. A lot of pressure on him, around him. He has to make quick decisions. Just like they did against the Chargers. You remember what I said? Against whoever they were playing in that first round and through the rest of the playoffs, 3-step drop, get rid of the football. I was beside myself when they decided to do that because that is the smartest thing and the best route to go. No 5-step drop backs. Continue to get the ball out of C.J. Stroud's hand, and you definitely have to do it in this ball game. He don't need to be a sitting duck back there. Like we said before, hot routes. I mean, it was picture perfect against the Chargers, how he was getting rid of the football. Bobby Slowick, D'Amico Ryans, whatever discussions they done had, but they realized the game plan has to be CJ can't just sit back there. He has to get rid of the football. And they did just that, gave themselves an opportunity to win the ball game, and that's what happened. Don't stop now. This Kansas City Chiefs defense make plays. They make plays. And we haven't even got to the offense yet. Come on now. Come on. I have one more thing about this matchup against the Chiefs. Just like I said, a 3-step drop back, get rid of it for C.J. Stroud in the wild card game. In this game, and I mentioned it with my Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll get to them in a minute, right? In the Super Bowl. I said the same thing. I don't know if I said it on air on a video, but I remember going to a Super Bowl party with a buddy of mine, and I told him just like this. I said, Travis Kelce, you have to double, triple team him on every 3rd down play. Not only double, triple team him on every 3rd down play, but you have to double, triple team him in every red zone opportunity that the Chiefs get. Every time the Chiefs are in the red zone, you should be double, triple teaming Travis Kelce. Let somebody else beat you. I don't care if he's wide smacking open. I'd rather take my chances of him dropping the ball, maybe a penalty, maybe something else happens, tip ball. I don't know and I don't care. But one thing I do know, If you allow that ball to go to Kelsey, more than likely, it's going to be a completed play. First down, touchdown, all around. Don't allow this guy to beat you. We know what Patrick Mahomes really want to go to. We know where he likes to go when he's in trouble. It's no secret. How is this guy always open every week? You see Kelsey open. Every time Mahomes is in trouble, falling down, tripping over his feet, he throws the ball up to Kelsey, grabbing it. Fourth down play, third down play, whatever it is, it's always a big play. He comes down with the football. It's not breaking news. It's been happening for all their Super Bowls. When somebody or a team is going to say, we're not going to allow Kelsey to beat us, I haven't seen it yet. The guy is always open. We know he's an immaculate route runner, but it still doesn't stop you from putting bodies around him. That's all I'm saying. Put bodies around him. Because if you don't, you will lose. That will be your prize. You will lose. So, D'Amico Ryans, hope you're listening to me. I doubt it, but I'm telling you, don't let Kelsey run free. I know you can't double team him the whole game because it puts too much pressure on your defense and it leaves something else on the back end, possibly wide open. It just spreads your defense thin when you're doing that much focus on one player. That's why you just have to do it on third downs. You have to do it in the red zone. Anytime it's big play time, you have to make sure this guy's covered. Don't think one guy can cover him. I know the defense is supposed to be all world and we got some hell of a corners and hell of a safeties, but don't just believe one guy is going to shut down Travis Kelsey. I don't care who it is. Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, I don't care who it is. Do not leave one guy on Travis Kelsey. That ain't how you win ball games. Put bodies around him. Constant pressure on Patrick Magician Mahomes. Constant pressure on him. And cover the back end. We want to see what these other receivers can do. We already know what he can do. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes football is about common sense sometimes. Don't outthink yourself. Take away his weapons. Take away what he likes. Sometimes it just comes down to that and that alone. Woo! Maybe we got it. But we're going to listen to D'Amico Ryans here just for a little bit. Won't be too long. Let him say a few words. But it's a big game coming up against the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no doubt about that. It's a very big and a huge game, which the whole world don't think the Texans have a shot in hell. A shot in hell. And I hate to say that I'm probably one of those people, but the only way they can beat the Chiefs with what they have right now, because I believe the Texans can beat the Chiefs if they was at full strength. You know, that's no excuse. Injuries happen all around the league. That is no excuse for any team. But I do believe if these Texans was at full strength coming into this football game, they had a damn good chance of getting rid of these Chiefs. Better than any team in the league, pretty much, besides the Eagles, of course. But that's a different story. But they will have the best chance to take down these Chiefs at full strength. Petrie, of course, gotta have him in there. Look, defense doing well, man. Even without Petrie in there, trust me. I don't want to fault none of those guys. They're busting their asses off on that defense, making plays, scoring points. Defense is scoring points, and it's gonna take that to give them a chance. They're gonna have to score some points. That defense. Because unfortunately, this offense they just stall out. They still have playmakers on this offense, but they stall out. And I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs gonna have Joe Mixon just running all over the place. Because they know that's one ingredient that can get them beat if they have Joe Mixon running out there for 170 yards. They don't want that. They're going to force C.J. Stroud to win this game with the defense scheming, disguising, making it look like something else, and putting pressure on him. Yeah. They know Joe Mixon can change this game, and they're going to be right up at that line of scrimmage. And they're going to force C.J. Stroud to make plays. And God forbid if they turn over the football like they did against the Chargers, it's going to be goodbye time. They can't afford turnovers in this game. I might can give them one. Don't want to give them that. Texas maybe can get away with one turnover in this ball game. And really, they can't even afford that. But I'm just saying. But 2 and 3, you won't have a shot in hell to win this ball game. The odds are against them. And like I said, you just better hope these Chiefs coming out rusty. They've been sitting for a while. Because if they come out a little rusty and they're not all together on offense, you hit them in the mouth, you go up 14-0, or at least a double-digit lead, 10-0, whatever the case may be, then you can roll it from there. You continue to lean on them. You know what I'm saying? You play with your lead, but stay focused at the same time, knowing that a big play away can get them back in the game. That's how you have to approach this. This is huge. A big game. And like I said, I want the Texans to win it very badly. But I have to call it, man. I just don't think they have enough to beat them right now. Not at this time. Not at this time. And that's no slack on the Texans. They're playing with house money. Like I said, all they had to do was get out of the first round, and they're playing with house money for what they have and what they've been through and how inconsistent they have been. And with this offensive line and C.J. Stroud and all the key guys that's been in and out and that are out for the season. Yeah, it's house money, man, at this point. Nobody expecting to beat no Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best. You're playing the best. And like I said, when you play the best, you have to have the best. And the Texans don't have the best right now. They're out. They're hurt. They're gone. And saying all of that, let's say if these Texans were to pull a magnificent upset, the world is going to go crazy. They take down Patrick Magician Mahomes, what they have in front of them right now, with their suiting up. You might as well say they're ready for the Super Bowl. You beat the Chiefs, you're ready for the Super Bowl. I don't care who you got out there suited up at that point. If you found a way to pull this game out, who's stopping you? Yeah, of course, you know, you got the Baltimore Ravens and all these other teams out there, but who's stopping you? Huh? Who's stopping you? You can beat anybody at that point. But unfortunately, I just don't believe it to be true. I don't. It doesn't say that. What I've seen all year long, no, it doesn't say that. They're not ready for that yet. But all we're going to do is hope, and we're going to watch, and we're going to see what's going to happen. But as you see, D'Amico Ryans, he's here up and smiles, and sometimes you just got to have smiles, you know, stop him crying. He knows what's ahead of him, and he believes in his team. Yeah, we all believe in a team, but sometimes this here have to turn into this here. And that's all I'm saying. So let's listen to D'Amico Ryans, then we'll get into the Eagles a little bit. And to me, this is the Eagles' year. I really do believe that. The best they're going to do right now with what they have. Can they get it done? But like I said, we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and roll this.
Play it. Man, you in the front now, man? What's going on? Uh-oh, there you go. Go ahead, D. He's sitting up front, Aaron. His first time sitting up front. You maybe you have to let him. Maybe you have to let him ask the first question. I don't know.
Just kind of, you guys' decision with Deontay, what kind of just take us through that, what kind of went into that?
Yeah, with Deontay, unfortunately, it didn't work out, and we're on to the Chiefs.
What happened with Cade?
Yeah, Cade had a shoulder injury, and he'll require surgery, so Cade will be out for the season.
Coach, was there? Is there any update on Christian Harris? We noticed that he wasn't in the game. Didn't play as many snaps on Saturday.
Yeah, Christian's doing good. He's working his way back. Again, Christian has missed a lot of football a lot of times, so we're working him back in slowly but surely. And Christian is a guy who's been a team player. Whatever we've asked him to do, he's been very diligent with what we asked him to do, and however many reps he gets, like he's gonna go out and play his hardest, play his best. So he's continuing to do what he needs to do to help our team win.
Last time you guys played Kansas City, you had a pretty good amount of pressure. A lot of those didn't convert into sacks. Was it something Kansas City was able to do, maybe schematically or just individual performances? And how do you convert those into sacks this time?
It's very hard to get sacks on Patrick. He does a good job of getting the ball out. They do a good job of getting all 5 eligibles out as well. And, if the check down is there, he's not afraid to take the short pass. And that's what makes him, very unique. Like, he won't hold on to the ball long just to hit a deep pass down the field. He'll take what you give him. Even though you apply pressure, right, you still have to be sticky in coverage because the ball can come out in the short area very quickly. So, we'll try to mix it up as always. We try to mix it up as much as we can. And guys just have to, you have to remain sound in coverage, right? Even if you're getting pressure on him, understand you still have to cover these guys twice because he's going to make a move, make a guy miss, and still he can create in the pocket.
Coach, you talked a lot about the way that the defensive line has played this year. What is the connection that you and Coach Wright have as far as having everybody on that same page?
Coach Rod Wright's done an outstanding job since he's taken over with the defensive line. Just his rapport with the guys, him just being a former player, I think he has that instant connection with the guys. They respect him. They love him as a coach. He does a great job of motivating those guys, getting them going every single week. And I can't thank him enough for the job that he's done with our defensive line. Like, we wouldn't be where we are right now with that unit if it wasn't for Coach Rod and Coach Nate as well. Those guys working together in tandem, they do a great job of bringing energy to the room. Each and every week, you hear the D-line. they're loud, they're rowdy. The energy is always up in that room, and they're great teachers. Right? That's the one thing about both coaches. Those guys are great teachers. They get the message across to their guys, and their guys go out and play, lights out every single week for us. So, can't thank them enough for the job that they've done.
Speaking of their nicknames.
Oh, their nicknames? I know Terminator and Cyborg is that.
Speaking of line, we talk a lot about Will and Daniil, but also Kevin Autry and things he's done. What are you seeing from him now? And he's played through some things, but having him now for the playoffs.
Seeing Autry and the season that he's had through all the ups and downs, missing time, just seeing him just stay with it, right? Couldn't be more proud of a guy. Could have went left a couple times, but he stayed with it, man. He's been very persistent, and you talk about a tough man who's been through a lot of adversity. He's overcame it, and right now he's just hitting his stride. Like, watching him this last week versus the Chargers, seeing how effective he was, not only in the passing game but also in the running game, seeing him play with power, right? Seeing him change the game for us on special teams, like that was our vision when we decided to sign Danico. And he's man, he's a big time player for us. And when he's healthy, when he's on, like he's a lot to deal with. And you throw him in the mix with our other guys, makes us a very tough front. So really proud of Danico just for him continuing to persevere through all the ups and downs of the season, to be at this point right now, to be at his best when we need his best. It's really great to see him come through.
For teams to remain in contention this late in the season, they obviously have to have a lot of good qualities. What do you think is the most important quality that has gotten your team to this point?
I think the most important quality for our team is perseverance. And we've had some ups and downs throughout the year, and we went through some difficult times, where, again, everybody was not believing in us, which is good. You had that adversity from the outside. We were trying to, on the inside, make sure we're doing things the right way, playing the right way. Games didn't go our way all the time. Like, we've been in tough games. We had tough losses. We've had wins at the last minute. So we're battle tested as a team. And I think that's hardened us to be exactly in this spot for that reason. Like, we're battle tested and we're ready to go to battle against anyone. Any type of way the game can go, we've been there. Unfortunately, we've been on the downside, we've been on the upside, so we know what it takes to win. And that's what I love about our team. Like, we've learned a lot of lessons throughout the season. We've grown closer together as a team, and I wouldn't want to be with any other group.
And I agree with that. They have been through a lot. Team is close-knit. And if any team that can challenge the Chiefs, it will be this team. And I say that because of the defense, of course. It's championship defense is what the Texans have. And they're going to have ultimate pressure. They're going to be tense. That's why I say the offense have to produce something, because the defense can't stay tight like that the whole game when you're not producing points. You got to give them something to go off of. You have to extend drives. You got to get them a little rest that they need to keep that ultimate pressure on the Chiefs. A lot of 3 and outs is not going to do that. It's going to wear this defense down. And then when that water breaks, it's going to be a flood. But it's no doubt, like D'Amico said, this team's been through a lot. They have. When they stay close-knit group, they believe in each other. Every time they go in for a fight against a team, they believe they're going to win. They believe they're going to win. But now it's time to be very disciplined. It's time to be very smart, heady about certain things that go on throughout the ball game. I'm going to be watching C.J. Stroud very closely. It's okay to throw the football away, CJ. Don't feel like you have to sit back in that pocket like a duck. Just wait to see a receiver come open. It's not there, even in 3-step dropbacks. Take off with it, man. Shoot one of those gaps. Get as many yards as you can. It's not a sack. It's not a strip, fumble. Remember, we kept going over this. I do the same thing with Jalen Hurts. Diagnose it quick. It's okay to throw the football away. Escape, throw it out of bounds. Live to see another down. If you ain't throwing it out of bounds, you need to be taken off with it. Don't just sit back there getting blindsided by somebody or getting stripped. Those plays change ball games. They will lose you the ball game. You have to be smart and have that clock in your head. And if you're able to muster up some kind of running game, you got one of the best in the business in Joe Mixon. Even if they're, like I said, jamming him up most of the whole game, we still want to give him a good amount of carries because he's kind of like a Saquon Barkley. He can pop one. So continue to get him the rock. Late third, fourth quarter, he might be hitting that 60-yarder to seal the deal for a touchdown. So it's not going to be much room. It's not going to be a lot of gaps for him to run through, especially early, because these teams are going to be revved up. And they don't want him going anywhere. It's going to open up too much. So don't expect a 100+ game. Just don't expect that. If you get it, great, but don't go in there expecting that. Expecting that they're going to jam him up and we're going to have to find ways to win it. Going through the air. Very precise. So that's what it is. Big thoughts on this game. It's huge. If the Texans could pull it out, it'd be wonderful. It'd be great. It'll be great. But like I said, it's house money. If they go in there trying their hardest to play mistake-free football, is going to give them a chance. That's all I'm saying. Solid defense, protecting the football, that alone will give you a chance. So, let's get into these Philadelphia Eagles. There we go. 22-10 against Green Bay. Let me tell you about this matchup. When I heard the Eagles were playing against the Green Bay Packers, of course, first thing I thought was, it's a good opponent. It'll be a good win as well, too. No doubt in my mind that I didn't believe the Eagles will take down the Green Bay Packers. Come on now. I know it'd be a little exciting, but overall, the finished product will be the Eagles will be on top. There's no way in the world what the Eagles been going through all season and past previous seasons and being behind on Super Bowls that they should have won. They're going to come into this wild card game and have the Green Bay Packers take them down. You want to talk about a catastrophe if that would have happened. My goodness. But no doubt in my mind they will go in there and take care of business and beat the Green Bay Packers. Now, do I have a little concern in this ball game? Yeah, a little bit I did. Everybody was concerned about Jalen Hurts being rusty and in every right. He hasn't played in a while. And then having that concussion, yeah, have some concerns. No doubt about it. Did he play outstanding? No, he had a pedestrian game, but he did what he had to do to patty cake this game through to win it. Now, I was a little concerned for the passing game. There was a lot of plays left out on that field that could have been done. But if you want to look at an upside to this ball game, you can look at it and say, A.J. Brown only had 1 catch for 10 yards, and you win a playoff game. You got to be a little excited about that. Even Saquon Barkley, yes, he rushed for 119 yards, but that was a quiet 119 yards. You could have believed that Saquon Barkley rushed for 65, 70 yards in this ball game. That's how quiet it was. But he had 25 carries for 119 yards, almost 5 yards average on a pop, and 17 was as long. So we've seen a better game even from Saquon Barkley, even though it was quiet. 25 and 119, any running back can take that all day long. We know that. But for Saquon Barkley, we know he can do better than that. Yeah, we know that. Jalen Hurts was 13 for 21 for 131 yards, pedestrian. 6.2 on average, 2 touchdowns, no picks, that's key. Sacked twice. 62.4 QBR, 111.4 rating. Not bad for the first outing, coming off that concussion, playing the Green Bay Packers. Like I said, this wasn't really pretty for the Eagles. They haven't played their best ball yet, especially not in this wild card. So I'm looking for them to come out blazing in this divisional round, no doubt about it. They have a lot of making up to do. A.J. Brown owes them a big game. Devontae Smith, he owes them too, all of them. Goddard? What about Goddard? As you see here, did he man somebody up? Huh? A triple slap to the end zone? Come on now. Come on, Dallas Goddard. But just look at it. Look at the receivers for the Eagles. Devontae Smith, 4 catches for 55 yards. They ain't nothing to just jump off on the charts. They just The ball came to them. They made the plays. Nothing spectacular. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches for 47 yards, 11.8 on average. Look at Dotson. 1 catch for 11 yards. Look at A.J. Brown. 1 catch for 10 yards. He had 3 targets. You look at something like this, you say, okay, you won this game not playing your best at all. Left a lot of football out there on that field. But now it's time to rev it up. It's time to get to a different level. Sometimes the Eagles play down to their competition. It happens sometimes. Some teams do that. They looked at the Green Bay Packers. They was like, yeah, we go out there and play. We already know we got this game. We're going to win it. That's the way they could have took it. But if you're playing somebody like Detroit, no. You can't play games like that at all. You play somebody like the Rams, who they will be playing. Can't come out there with a game like this. That's why I was hoping Minnesota won. You know what I mean? I like the chances with Minnesota than the Rams. So you just worry about Jefferson on offense pretty much for big plays for the Vikings. But on the other hand, for the Rams, they got 5 receivers. Then go out there and make plays. And then you got to look at the difference in quarterback. Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford. Which one you want to play in the playoffs? Yeah, I'm going with Sam Darnold. I'm taking my chances with that. You don't want to do nothing with Matthew Stafford. He's a gunslinger. Man can throw for 500 yards, man. He has weapons. Puka Nacua. Did I finally get his name right? Puka Nacua? All year long, I've been slaughtering this man's name. Took some practice. All right? Cooper Kupp, man. Higbee. All these guys make serious plays down the field. Crunch time. 3rd and long. 4th and long. Short. Eagles can't come in there half-stepping. Because they come in there half-stepping, they're going to get booted. But I'm not expecting that. Eagles going to rise to the occasion. They're going to rise to the occasion so much that they probably could blow out these Rams if Eagles football is being played. So another good matchup. But yeah, it was a good win against the Packers, but at the same time, it wasn't cute. It wasn't well polished, but you're going to take them. Playoffs, you take a win, man. You take them how you can get them. But understanding as you move along, you have to tighten those bolts up. Got to get a little more sharper. Got to start off steadfast. Can't play no games. So, yeah, Eagles took the Green Bay Packers down 22-10. Enjoyed the game. Enjoyed all the games. And we'll get into the other scoreboards here real quick before we call it quits. Monday Night Football as well was a doozy. Let's look at this. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Okay, Baltimore beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-14. Is that a shock to me? I'm going to tell you what. No, it's not a shock to me, but I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers would play a better game than that. Steelers looked pitiful. I'm not going to lie to you. They couldn't get anything going pretty much on offense at all. You expected a little more, not that much more with Russell Wilson. All faith has been lost in him, for us on my part. I don't know about anybody else, but he's not a championship quarterback. You say, well, he won it before. Well, at this stage, he's not a championship quarterback. Early on, Seahawks, yes. But we're not talking about the same Russell Wilson. He's lost something. I don't know if it's Sierra and took his legs away. I don't know what the case may be, but he's not the same football player. Okay, that time has sailed with him. Good regular season quarterback, can patch up a few things for you, but when it counts, he's gonna fall apart like wet pound cake. It's gonna happen every time. So I have no faith in that. And the Ravens, they moving fast like a runaway train right now. They don't want nobody standing in front of them on their goals. And this Derrick Henry guy was the best thing to happen to these Baltimore Ravens. That was the only missing ingredient to a Lamar Jackson running around doing all the things that he does great. Once this guy started passing the ball, reading defenses down the field with his athleticism, his dynamic, you mix that in with that. Now they're doing the option, and you give him a beast right behind him, running the football, running like an animal. Can't get him down. Almost getting 200 yards a game. They have an absolute chance of winning the Super Bowl. Absolute chance of winning the Super Bowl. Wouldn't it be beautiful if the Eagles and the Texans would be in the Super Bowl? I know I'm dreaming. Stop it. Stop the laughing. I can hear it. No need to laugh. I'm just dreaming, okay? But it's okay. Because I'll take the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl once again. But this time we have to seal the deal. And who says the Chiefs will be there? Maybe the Baltimore Ravens. Who knows? Maybe the Buffalo Bills. Which that is going to be a matchup. Bills and Ravens. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, man, Pittsburgh, they disappointed me. Going out there, putting out that kind of performance. No doubt about it. Denver and Buffalo. I'm going to put it to you this way. Everybody that's supposed to win in the wild card round pretty much won. When you look at it on paper. I think if I'd have done my picks, I might have cleaned the table. It's possible. Because a lot of this, everybody would have went this way, possibly. For us, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, pretty much Baltimore, you figured Baltimore would win that game. You know it's a rival, it would have been a knockout, drag out, but come on. Who's playing like what all season long? You kind of look at it and you say, man, Baltimore going to win that game. And Baltimore won it. Denver and Buffalo, you kind of would say, well, Buffalo's going to win that. Of course, they're at home. Bills Mafia, Denver trying to find themselves, rookie quarterback who's playing very well this season. Gone fishing now, but he's played very well. 31-7. Buffalo beat the Broncos. Then the Green Bay and Philadelphia, we talked about that. 22-10. Philadelphia Eagles took down the Green Bay Packers. This one right here, Washington and Tampa Bay. A lot of people want to call that an upset. They say the Commanders upset the Buccaneers. I don't know if I can call that an upset. Y'all can. I know you got the rookie quarterback. You feel like they went behind the ears. They're just getting a good, real taste, you know what I'm saying, a postseason. And then you look at the veteran squad in Tampa Bay, you know, with that nasty defense. Baker Mayfield, the way he's played all season long, which I knew he will fall down like pound cake eventually himself. Because never believed in him as well. Because I know what type of quarterback he is, man. They all cut from the same cloth, all these guys. You know, the Jay Cutlers and all this, you know, these group of guys that can do well and keep it together during a regular season. But when it matters the most, that's when they show that they ain't about a damn thing. They get exposed, these quarterbacks, when it matters the most. You know? And they'll just say they don't get exposed. They don't make enough plays to win the game. Pedestrian, whatever you want to call it, they didn't make the big plays they've been making all year to pull their team to a playoff win. Doesn't happen, right? So what did Washington do? They beat them 23-20 in a tight game. And it's Jaden Daniels guy. He's a real deal. He's a real deal. Being that young, playing this amount of close games in crunch time and finding ways to pull them out. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams, 27-9. The Rams got the Vikings. To me, that wasn't a shock. Well, of course, I wanted Minnesota to win for playoff purposes, so to speak, for the Eagles, right? Best matchup for them to kind of coast and have an easy win. If you want to call that selfish or not, but I don't know. But I knew the Rams would be a tough out. They will give the Eagles the best challenge out of that matchup, no doubt about it. And hey, match up against them, well, line them up, knock them down. Since we have to play them now, we're not afraid of them. At this point, we're just looking for easy coast wins if we can get them. Don't fault us. You know what I mean? Don't fault us. So now you got to lace them up, go take care of business. You know? You just got to come with a little extra. That's all. Playing the Rams. Yep. And that sums it up. You're out of the wild card game, and now you're into the divisional round. Okay? You got Houston and the Kansas City Chiefs at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Definitely tune into that. Like I said, that's going to be something. That's all I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to be something. And, boy, if the Texans could find a way. I don't know if they could find a way. But going down there in Kansas City, man, and that weather and their backyard, like I said, you would shock the world. Commanders and the Lions. Detroit is a real deal. They're going to form a challenge. You know, if the Eagles are lucky enough, I'll just say it like that. If the Eagles are lucky enough to play against the Detroit Lions, it will be something. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. And they will make me a little nervous, but I know the Eagles, I have faith and belief in the Eagles. They will go down there and take care of business. No doubt in my mind. That Baltimore and Buffalo, that's the one everybody's waiting on. They say the MVPs possibly, huh? Somebody's going to leave that game with a narrative of they can't win the big one. I hate to see who that's going to be. It's going to be a lot of chirping going on. It's a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson. It's a lot of pressure on Josh Allen. Y'all know this. Whoever loses that game is just going to continuously hear it year after year until they get over that hump and get to the dance and give themselves an opportunity. They're going to hear it, and they deserve to hear it. Time is ticking. But it's the same thing with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Same stuff. Same stuff. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of these quarterbacks to get it done. Don't mistake that. So when I look at this, I say who would win it? And Buffalo at home too. That's gonna help Buffalo. Buffalo being at home. And the Bills Mafia. But you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say Baltimore Ravens gonna get them though. Yeah. I think the Red just because that running game, man. Like I say, Derrick Henry changes so much. Without a Derrick Henry, you could call this a whole different way. Derrick Henry, and they give him his carries. Oh man. Then when you bog down on him and bring everybody to the line of scrimmage, putting 7 in the box and all this crazy stuff, trying to make sure he does not cross the line of scrimmage, the next thing you know, there's Lamar Jackson. Finding somebody over the top or taking it himself. It's so much to cover. And then the defense is pretty good too. You know what I mean? So, but there it is, folks. Wild card completion. And now it's time for the divisional round. And that's my take on it. Enjoy some football that's coming up for this weekend. So tune in. I also been sneaking in on the Houston Rockets a little bit. I know this is football, but I throw a little basketball in there. I'm very surprised and ecstatic and just excited. The Rockets are in the number 2 slot. Have y'all seen Jalen Green play lately? The guy finally got it. He's found it. He's found it. He's playing like an all-star. I don't want to say superstar yet. He's playing like an all-star. The man scored 42 points the other night. Grabbing the bull by the horns, being aggressive, hunting down shots, mixing it in with the drive, and ones, dunking on people. It's amazing. M.U. Doka have changed this franchise around. We already figured that. We've talked about it. It's no surprise to us. We were just waiting for Jalen Green and hopefully he can come along before we have to actually ship him out. But no. He said, hold up. Sometimes players need a little more time. I think Jalen Green has got it and he's found it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. The only thing now with Jalen Green is maybe making it a little more consistent. We want to see it every game. You know, if he can get that strung together right, oh yeah, he has arrived. You know, sometimes he'll come in and he'll have one of those games where he just score 15, maybe 18, and then he's off on his shot here and there. But lately, he's been stringing more good than mediocre, I would say. I don't want to say bad. He's not really playing bad, but like mediocre games. He don't have to score 40, 30 every night to have a good game and help this team win. Long as he, like I said, fill up other categories. You know, you're not a one-trick pony anymore. You can do other things. You've been filling up the stat sheet a little bit. Remember, rebounding. We need to get more up in rebounding. I like to get the rebounds that a man Thompson gets. I wish you can get, you know, double-digit rebounds along with him here and there. If not, keep it around 7 or 8. Seem like you should be able to get 7 to 8 rebounds almost a game. You know, with a block here or there, a few steals, get your 5 assists. I don't want to say you're not the type of guy to get a whole boatload of assists. You're really a real scorer, but you give me 5, a handful of assists, try to get that a game, it's gonna look pretty good. It's gonna look pretty good. Your shot efficiency has been a hell of a lot better than previous seasons. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Like I said, just keep building on it. And Şengün, you're not giving me a heart attack as much no more. Sometimes when you dribbling that ball loose, you kind of scare me. They knock it loose, but you find a way to get it back, and then you end up finding somebody for a lob or something like that. But, you know, your handle's getting a little tighter. You're not turning over at the high degree like you was once before, so it's starting to look pretty good. I'm liking that. Because that 1-2 combo combination with you and Jalen Green, man, it's starting to be unstoppable. 1-2 punch here. Then you add Fred VanVleet, the veteran. Bunch of young guys running around with their hair on fire. Dylan Brooks, the veteran, locking people down, hitting timely shots, winning tight, gritty, close games. Tell you, boy, y'all making me proud. Proud. Because I seen the vision. I seen it. Starting to come around now. Put that with the Texans. I told you, man. A few years, Houston's going to be taking it over. Going to be taking it over. That's my time. That is the quick hit of the day. Thanks for y'all time. The G.S.Q.H. Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. It's football time. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But we're going to wiggle in a little basketball here and there when we can. But that's about to flip over into the real full season, too, once football is over with. So I appreciate it. It's Terrible Tuesday. Don't feel like Terrible Tuesday. But you know how we do it. Sometimes Terrible Tuesday, roll into Weary Wednesday. But we'll see how that go. But Terrible Tuesday for sure. And y'all enjoy yourselves. And like I say, thanks again. And we will be back. Peace.